Marcy, then Diana. Are there any other questions? Last chance.
I'll be a little quick and a little cheeky. To save money on the construction fence, you can get the one from Waring Avenue when they finally finish and reuse it. That's my bane of my existence. And the other is...
I just emailed her about that.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
They put a backhoe in there. Now they got to try to hide a backhoe.
They gotta make it look decent at least.
Well, it's not looking so good. The other is the Reese Pelham Parkway, the Reese Field, the softball field for the Little League. The water fountain that was put in there never worked. They cemented over the water main. I know this because my husband tried to fix it 4 times. Is it the same people?
Deborah, do you know what that is, Reese?
Yeah, that's
inside the fencing of the
ball field.
The ball field.
inside the license one.
Okay, is it on? It's not under our jurisdiction. It's on the. I don't know. I need to.
We like a landlord, so we do the structural maintenance.
Okay, so I need to know if we can find out what the issue is behind that and what the history is. I have no idea.
They cemented over the water inlet.
Okay, so let me find out what the reason for that is.
They got to re-core it and everything.
Okay.
Diana, Sal, and I guess that's all for the questions. Diana?
Hi, I had a 2-part question. One is for the bidders. Do they have to tell you how long it will take them to complete the project? And is there a problem with people submitting low bids but stretching out the project completion so that they can take on lots and lots of projects?
No,
so that's sort of artificially, it's a low bid, but you have to weigh that against how long it's going to take.
No, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
Because they're there for a day and then they're gone.
No, it's in the
4 days,
contract.
and they come back again for a day and then they're gone.
No, the contract documents specify the length of time that they have to do the project, and they're required to finish that project during that length of time. And we try to even incorporate, God forbid, because it's not a good thing to try to have change orders. We don't want to have what we call change orders, which is something that may come up during construction that was not, something that happened that created something, and we don't want to stretch out the project. So we try to be as very detailed as possible. But it's already in the contract documents, the specified period of time that they're supposed to do the work.
And then the other question is, I was at the Bronx Speak Up Parks event and spoke to the...
I was there.
Yeah, and spoke to the commissioner for the Portland Park there. And I was asking her, why do these projects have such high price tags? Why are the costs so high? And she said that actually one of the significant costs is insurance for the different contractors.
It's different. Margot, you were talking to Margot, the administrator of the park. Okay, so in terms of the industry, I will say this, and I will say this to everyone here. The industry, the construction industry, because they are so saturated with work in terms of buildings, in terms of highways. All of us here see a lot of construction work going on in all different kinds of ways. So the industry itself has grown so much that they don't, the thing of supply and demand, so they don't, the projects, the more projects they have to be able to do, the higher the cost is going to be. Why? Because they really are not hungry to be able to bid on projects. So that's usually what happens. Then another thing, the price of concrete may go up, or the price of concrete may go up, the price of certain materials may go up. I mean, it is frustrating for us, I will say, as park professionals, when we estimate a project to cost this much based on the history, and then all of a sudden the bids come in much higher than what we had estimated. So it's a good question.
Do you think that insurance is a big part of the cost?
I can't say about the insurance portion of it.
I mean, it depends on the location. The contractors are sometimes required to, provide a different type of insurances, especially if we are near a subway or over the subway or next to a train station or a train, tracks. So there is an agreement between, the Parks Department and the MTA, or the Transit Authority, or the Department of Transportation, or the private companies that own the train tracks sometimes, like in a concrete plant. And then the contractor has to provide a special insurance, to have the inspectors from the other agencies or organizations to actually come to the site and make sure that the contractor is not encroaching or endangering their facilities in any way. So that would drive some cost in some locations. I don't foresee it here.
Sal?
I was wondering, what's the size of the area of the exercise area?
It's not very big.
Big enough.
It's about the size of this room.
3,000 square feet to 3,500 square feet. 3,500 square feet. Yeah.
Don?
Yes, with respect to the water fountain,
Yeah, exercise equipment.
instead of spending a lot of money in a water fountain, and as someone who's noted, people exercise heavily there without a water fountain, can you just simply provide a large trash can and a collection schedule for water bottles, and possibly a vending machine or a concessionaire, which can supply water for the next several years until you get $100,000 rattling around?
Well, in terms of, I mean, we can easily provide recycling cans. I mean, to have the
that's my
recycling
point.
cans, because we know people will collect them and take them away even before. That's always a possibility. We can put it there. Hopefully, it'll stay in place. We can put it there, but we hopefully. And I've seen right along the Boston Road. When you get off the highway, the Bronx River, these blue cans have lasted. They've been there. Debbie DeGregorio can talk about it. I mean, they've been there, and every time I drive by, the cans are still there. I mean, we can put it there, and we'll see what happens. When it comes to, we can talk to revenue and see if there's much of a demand. Now, it's up to people to want to vend there, and for people to decide, but there may not be enough people for them to have a.
With a vendor, you also need the trash collection.
No, that's
Because
commercial.
vendors
That's
on the
residential.
street
That's not
don't
commercial.
necessarily have that, and there's a lot of trash generated by a street truck. Good street trucks do have trash cans in them.
And then we have Debbie DeGregorio, who's the supervisor here, and she's taking note of that. Okay.
People who haven't asked questions first. Christina, then Francis.
The water bottle situation sounds great, but I'm concerned about the water bottles then finding their way to the Bronx River, which isn't very far. They've just cleaned out the Bronx River, where we now have wildlife coming back and living along the river. And it was 10 years that the Bronx River Alliance spent cleaning that river. So I'm a little concerned over
15
whatever, but the water bottles getting back there. I do a cleanup with parks on the Hutchison River, and water bottles, soda bottles.
Christina's in it?
Yeah.
So thank you very much for the volunteer. I applaud you for taking the interest and volunteer with the Bronx River. I was, from the beginning, when I was here back in 1992, that river looks deplorable. The Bronx River Alliance has brought that river back to life. Anybody that has not done the flotilla, I suggest that you go do that.
I just watched my face.
Okay, so
All
right, okay. Rafael did it. So I thank you very much, and we have a new administrator, executive director of the Bronx River Alliance, Maggie Greenfield, and maybe someday she can come here and be able to speak to you. So she's a wonderful woman who has been with the Bronx River Alliance for over 10 years, and I think she's a wonderful asset. So thank you again, and yes, absolutely, thank you very much.
So I'm concerned about those water bottles.
No, yeah, right, exactly. And you know what? We try the best that we can. I mean, it's not that we're saying, encouraging people in terms, that's why we're putting the cans there. People will still come, people that walk, people that run, people that bike, they are going to, probably have, hopefully they can bring their own bottled water and bring it from home. But
The only thing is that this exercise thing is much further away than the ball field. The ball field's much closer to me. People, people around the whole time.
thank you.
The project that's going on now,
No, that's not.
is it on schedule?
Yes, it's still on schedule. Absolutely, yes. It's supposed to finish next year. It's a 2-year
Well,
project.
Francis,
Oh, which one? Are you talking about the Greenway?
Parkway Mall.
Site plans for this?
Or the most? That's September.
So I was,
That's next year. That's March of next year.
well,
2018. That's March
the whole
2018.
project, but I saw the contract.
Oh yes, did you see Wallace? We opened up Wallace.
Yeah, they opened up Wallace, and the contractor assured me that the walking path between Wallace and Michelangelo will be open before June.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
only things that will be closed off are near the BX12 Select Bus, which is the BX12 Select Bus stop is heavily used, but that park area really is not. The walking path is the most heavily used, probably of all of Pelham Parkway. So it was, Irish wasn't there, but Michelle and Patricia and others met with the contractor and Parks Capital Division 2 months ago, and they heard our concerns, and I think someone emailed me and said that the walking path will be done by June. So it'll be
The Wallace, but that's a Wallace.
well, no, that's across, but I'm talking the walking path, the cemented walking path.
I'll double check that, but if they said June, then it should be.
That's the
On the
pass
park.
tunnel.
Is that the Greenway?
There's
Yeah.
potholes,
Is that the
yeah.
Greenway? Okay, we'll double check because I want to make sure.
That's the pass-through. That's the pass-through.
The one that goes right in the middle of the greenway.
Pass-through.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
But down the road, when you start investigating for the water fountain, just remember, we have parkside houses, those water mains run into there also.
That's right.
Keep that in your mind.
That's good,
Okay,
because
thank
that
you.
means they can hit it.
Gracie, you have one more?
Yeah, just quickly back to the bidding thing. When you send out a bid, do you tell them that you have X amount of dollars, or you just
There's a range.
you pick the bid that is closest to the 200,000,
Actually, tell them.
or would you tell them like I would say we can't go over 150,000.
We give them we give them what the estimated.
So you tell them like the whole amount,
We
like
tell
you
them
don't
the
do a little
actual estimate,
cushion
not the
there.
estimate.
The actual estimate, so it can vary.
Ah, I would cushion that.
We're obligated by law to incorporate it in the contract. We're obligated by law to do that.
So when it's when the project is being advertised on the construction newspaper or online, we actually include the actual engineer's estimate that we have came up with. We usually try to do, like leave 10%, 10 to 20% on the table sort of for the cushion. So if the bids do come a little bit higher or, some unforeseen condition happens, that we have to incorporate that work during construction, we have, some funds to draw from. But we advertise actually what the actual engineer's estimate is.
Do we have any other questions? Last chance.
This is
All right, let me ask my first and then Mars. So I regularly work out in Waring Playground. It's not the most greatest place to work out, but the one reason I work out there is because of the
It's a
parallel
bathroom.
bars, which are, the ones that kids go, the old design, because Waring Playground was made when I was, probably before I was born. But they're parallel bars, and I'm kind of a workout, whatever. I don't have time.
You're not.
I don't know, but it provides the best way to do sit-ups because it's the only, it provides the most resistance because you're directly going away from gravity. It's 180 degrees when you, it's an upside down sit-up. All you need is 2 parallel bars, very simple. Put your legs over one of them, your feet under the other one, and you go all the way down so that you're upside down through sit-up. So I wanted to know,
Not
is
with
that,
25.
do you have, they're 7 feet high, 6 or 7 feet high, the parallel bars. Because you have to do bars.
They
Monkey
have
bars,
that.
hold
Those
on. You
are
have to do
monkey- that's
sit-ups,
not
so you
monkey
have to
bars.
have,
Those are, I guess.
Please don't climb something that is 8 feet tall.
no. Do you know what I'm talking about? The ones where kids swing from one to the other, they're parallel to each other.
They're ladders. They're ladders. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a horizontal ladder, and it could be something that either has the horizontal bar seated between 2 bars.
Right.
They're considered
or it could have, like a chain.
Is there any workout equipment? Well, the first question is, do you have a set?
Because the kids
Do you have a
fall.
set?
Johnny got
from?
They fall. They get up.
Well, this
Fine.
is the time to
Break the
actually
bone.
tell us
It
what kind of equipment from this type of equipment.
Have this mentality that you could protect children from that life. It's
I know.
ridiculous. Gotta grow up.
But not as much as.
No. It's
I guess
overhead
you call them
ladder.
monkey bars.
It's.
They're like parallel ladders.
I think they're considered ladders.
And then they have,
It's a ladder, and they're
Okay, so
considered
whatever.
dangerous.
So that's the first thing. If you can see if there's a workout equipment that allows upside down steps, it's like priority number 1,000,002. But the other thing is for this chin-ups, people who are not too tall, it's a little hard. Yeah, it's a little hard. I went to the one on Bronx Park East and Brady, and it's like I can go like this and I can't even reach it. I mean, of course, I could jump and go to it, but when people do chin-ups, it's good to start from a 90-degree angle, and it's good to start at a comfort zone. So I wanted to know if you could put a step.
Yeah.
One step that's like a foot high, one step that's a foot and a half high to accommodate short people.
Yes.
And
Short people are discriminated against always.
And left-handed people, like me.
That's true.
No, even that. Don't be a step.
Louder. I can't hear you. Louder. Where's the microphone?
No, what I'm trying to say, like, if we increase the height of this one and add some
It's dangerous.
bar out here, is it going to
Well, what you
do
can do is you don't have to increase the height. You can put
We
the
just need
steps
steps.
outside of the workout of the motion area. So when people do sit-ups, they also use that for leg raises and gymnastics. They're going backwards and forward, so they're not. Something on the side is not going to interfere, so you can have steps on the side.
Well, can I share my concern about this? I have to think about trip hazards.
I just, because you know what?
Johnny can't walk.
You think about it, and although I agree with you, because short people, like, I can't reach it, I gotta jump or whatever, maybe it can just be lowered a little bit, but the putting steps, it's a concern only because it could become a trip hazard. Somebody can trip and so you have to look at it.
So maybe you could have
They have the sit up and
just
back
little
extension
bars that
already.
jut out.
Or maybe it could be gradiated. In other words, have like a little bit lower, a little high, like
I think
gradiated
that would
up.
be the best solution. We have, like the 3 different, heights, so it can accommodate, shorter people, medium people, large people. But we also have to think about the national safety standards. And, if they will see that, something that, was an obstruction that's sticking out from a post or, right underneath, and in their opinion, this is something that, people can fall onto while exercising, then that's considered not safe. So it's really better to maybe lower that. And believe me or not, we have installed equipment in the Cedar Park just recently on the other side of the Bronx, right by the Major Deegan. And that first equipment, that's about 8 feet. I can't even, reach. And there is another one of those in the Bronx Park, just north of the police station. They recently completed one, and that one I think it's also like 7 feet. And even that, it's kind of, high. So we are talking to the representative of these companies. We bring them to the site. They have to come to our what we call final inspections to make sure that everything is actually installed at the proper, elevations or levels, and properly everything's tied up. So they get that, sort of first feedback. I think that, when they first started to design this kind of equipment, maybe had different population in mind, fully able and tall, build up people, but, I think with time we also learned that all kinds of, personalities, let's say, would like to use and exercise and really enjoy the outdoor.
So you could also do a couple of different chin-up bars.
Yeah, well, we do sometimes, it's like in the play equipment, we actually do, that they are connected. So you have the 3 bays with the 4 posts and the 3 bars that are at the different levels. So perhaps similar, we can ask the manufacturer to actually do, and they willing to work any custom, units.
Well, they don't have to be in front of everybody.
But this probably wouldn't be too much.
Go ahead.
And first, then RC, then we gotta get
2 questions. Who
No,
are the
one
manufacturers that we're using for this project?
We don't know yet. We usually, we will, see who can give us, a better product, let's say, or, something that we checked out, but we have 2 vendors that are most popular, not Extractors and Game Time.
The second question, Game Time, when I was doing research for the equipment, it wasn't that costly, and I'm wondering, does the city consider the package deals that they offer? because some of the actual package equipment is about $23,000 with certain pre-configured arrangement. Is that something that you guys
Right
take
now,
Huh?
everything is paid per contract.
Not with
for
that
different
attitude.
Projects, we don't really have, a special deal with them, because they really don't deal with us directly, they deal with the contractor. So they give their price proposal to the contractors at the time when they are preparing their bids for the city. And then it's up to the contractor what he is bidding on the project. So even if the price is, $20,000, the contractors usually gives us, twice or even triple that amount because he takes under consideration, the footings, the concrete, excavation, site protection, and, other elements.
And Marcy, and that's all.
To the green picture, please.
To the green picture.
The other green picture.
Layout plan, the plan.
The plan where you have a soccer field.
That.
Right around here, there is one of the original park benches, probably 100 years old. It is cement based. It is not the new kind of. It would be really nice. I'm sorry.
It's the concrete and wood.
Right.
It's concrete and wood. I'm 100% sure. I think they might have changed the wood to the fake wood. Sometime back in the day. But it's one of the few left in New York, and it would be sort of nice if that could be kept. But
Maintained.
in walking with the Parks Department, the people on this side of Allerton are noticeably missing benches. So putting benches near it for the rest of it is very important. Even on the outside, on the sidewalk area, because they're noticeably missing benches.
Right, we had benches, they took them.
Here is original,
We
like
are,
100 years old.
as per our design intention, we're going to put, a few benches in this area.
Yeah, they need.
Yeah, we definitely will look into it.
They remove, and if you could get the machine that cleans the synthetic soccer field so the soccer players don't get hurt, it would be really nice if they cleaned it and fixed it.
Commissioner, just
There's not
Commissioner, I just want to say from Senator Jamal Bailey's office, the number one complaint we get from the parks, and we cover Marshallou, Bronx Park, Shoelace Park, is just that they disappeared the benches. A lot of the seniors want to just hang out, and that's like the number one complaint on both sides.
Well, I've come to this borough now, and some of the designs have been and things like that before I arrived. So one of the things that is that I'm taking account of the benches that were there before the project, was put into design, and wanting to make sure that they remain. So that's something from from this perspective on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that is a big
All right,
site. And it really
we
does
done?
commercial.
Thank you. The meeting's not over, so we have a couple of more people who are going to speak. First, I want to get Romina up here. She's had a long day.
Yay!
And if you haven't signed in, please come up and sign in. Romina, Councilman Riccatore's office.
Hi, thank you.
Hello, I just have two announcements. The first one, we have a senior day at the near Botanical Garden, Friday, April 7th at 9 a.m. It's a breakfast and then a free tour of the Orchid Show, which is actually wrapping up. So, you know any seniors in the community, please call our office. The numbers on the agenda, RSVP. Again, it's completely free. And then the big announcement is PD voting is this week. I have ballots on me. I'll stay through the rest of the meeting for you guys to have the opportunity to come and vote. Raphael wanted me to give an update on the Waring stop sign. There was a request on Bronx Park East and Waring for a stop sign. We were supposed to have the results from DOT in January. They have unfortunately pushed the study to the end of May.
It wasn't just stop sign, it was also painting pedestrian walkway lines.
The one that I'm referring to
That is a stop sign.
is the stop sign.
That's the same thing.
You have to paint, if there's a stop sign there, you have to paint, like, you
But
have
if
to
there's
paint it.
not a stop sign and they painted the painted, it would,
They're not going to paint crosswalks if there's not a stop sign. They're not going to paint crosswalks if there's not a traffic light. They're one and the same.
all right, all right.
Weren't we requesting a traffic light there?
Same thing. It's an intersection control study. So they study
That's the
all.
one I was at.
And the stop sign that was really pushed for was Barker and Waring by the school. You know, the crossing guard has been there since my daughter was in school. She's 36 now. So that lady's been there a long time. People do not respect her anymore like they did in the old days. And, I mean, she's a danger. It's people, that's where the stop sign has to be. It should be a three-way stop at that intersection for the school.
By 96?
That's what we talked about. I was there when Richie Torres was there and other.
I can look into the status of that request. It may have been closed, and I can get the results on why that was denied.
Bronx Park East,
You may
yes.
need to put the request in again.
No, it's a specific person that wants to have stop signs or traffic lights on every block on Bronx Park East. I know people drive too fast. We need enforcement, and the main talk was by the school, three-way stop sign.
Four-way. There's no such thing as three. Four-way.
There's only three stop.
Well,
Barker's one way.
Barker's one
So
way.
it's a three-way stop
So it would
sign.
be a three. It would
But
be.
I think
Bronx Park East cannot handle a traffic light. The city of New York has to stop putting traffic lights every freaking block because some idiot walks out in a street and can't see the speed of a car.
All right, let's move on. She's going to hand out ballots. If you live in Council District 15, please see Ramita about the ballots.
Go back to the
Grace,
horse
you want
and
to
buggy.
speak up about your block party?
Sure. Can somebody just... Okay. Hey.
Christina,
What?
oh. I just got a rubber
Don't
band
get that.
right over
And
there
if she missed.
by a millimeter.
Hello, everyone. I'm Grace, as you all know, and I'm with the Allerton Barnes Block Association. We're having our 4th annual Hello Summer Block Party, June 17th. I have some flyers here. I'm looking for sponsors and donations. If people who can help, if you can help donate, help sponsor, whether it's monetary or in goods and services, that's fine. So my number is on the flyer. Our email is on the flyer. Please take a flyer. Get in touch with me. We also have a GoFundMe page. That's also on the flyer. So if you want to donate directly, you can go straight to the GoFundMe page. No fuss, no fuss. Okay? Thank you very much, and I appreciate any donations that you can do. I also need people to help. I need bodies as well. I need people to help the day of the event. So if you can volunteer for that, I would also appreciate that as well. Thank you.
I forgot Penny.
Hey gang, on behalf of Senator Jamal Bailey, we're inviting you to meet your local elected officials. He's put together an array of electeds, Councilmember Andy Cohen, Assemblyman Linowitz, Congressman Adriano Espaillat. It's going to be at the Mashalu Montefiore Community Center, Wednesday, April 19, 2017, from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Come meet all your elected officials. We're trying to get together before the census happens, because we don't want to have a divided, electorate. You have Councilman Cohen, who lives in Riverdale. You have Senator Jamal Bailey, who's in Wakefield. You have Congressman Espaillat, who's Washington Heights. You have Assembly Linowitz, who's in Riverdale. So we have to try to plan ahead of time when we're doing the lines, so we can have all the elected officials in the same area. Because then what happens is all the resources get divided. So we're going to be working on that. I passed out earlier a new YMCA proposal for Northeast Bronx. They're trying to figure out where they're going to do it. Some say it's near Co-op City, some say near 218th Street. There's a survey, short survey, you could just fill it out, on both sides and give it back to me. That will, let people know what we want. There's money that Speaker Hasty found that was previously in the previous speaker. So we're trying to utilize that money. Also, we brought back the Safe Child book that Ruth Pastor Thompson started, and we have it all the way over here, and it's where we can put all the information pertinent to your loved ones, your children, and you can put their picture and fingerprints and even a piece of DNA. So like a used toothbrush or things of that nature, happening. We have a lot of predators, we have a lot of things that are happening. We're also going to be looking into keeping update of the predator list that's out there. So people that live among us who are level 3, level 2, level 1 sex offenders, we will know where they're at. Also, I have a whole array of literature, but we're going to be doing immigration stuff for New York City, taking pride in its diversity, but also focusing on getting your New York City ID. Also getting to, we're getting a lot of people in the LGBTQ community who are also being harassed because of the immigration situation of the Trump administration. So, and we're also talking about gender identity expression. Gender identity, one's internal, deeply held sense of one's gender as male, female, or something else entirely. A transgender person is someone whose gender identity does not match the sex where they were born. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kenny.
Kay, you want to speak about SUV?
Yes, I do.
Louder.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kay Cardona. I think most of you know me. I'm not only with the Precinct Council for the 4-9, I'm also with the Clergy Council, as well as Milan and Grace and maybe a couple of others in this room. Pastor Gooding has so kindly put together something called SUV, which is Stand Up to Violence, which has been in existence for several years now. We are, next week on Wednesday, the 5th, we are having an SUV second annual stakeholder appreciation reception at 1234 East Gun Hill Road, which is Pastor Gooding's actual congregation. And we will be honoring Reverend David Hurtquist from Van Ness Assembly of God, who is a tireless contributor to our community, Miss Norma Saunders, President of Bronx River Resident Association, Inspector Ruel Stevenson, Commanding Officer of the 4-7, who is also involved in our SUV project, Jacoby Medical Center honorees, Sandra Chalkin, John Doyle, and Hannah Nelson. So I have flyers here. If anyone's available and would like to join us, we would love to have you. Thank you.
Diana?
Thank you.
Hi everyone. Speaking of Waring Playground, I want to announce a special cleanup project that we're going to have for Sunday, April 9th. So not this Sunday, but the next Sunday after that, from 1 to 4 in the afternoon. And this came about because I went to the Bronx Speak Up session, which is an annual event. A bunch of you were there. Kay was there. Donna was there. And Partnerships for Parks. Everybody, want to listen?
Hello?
One meeting. Thank you.
Partnership for Parks, their annual event at Lehman College, an all-day event. They had a table and they were trying to get people to do, volunteer to do cleanup projects for their local parks. They supply all the equipment, the guidance, and help you get the word out about it. And speakers at this event said that consistently they saw that the parks that actually get the funding, when the funding really comes through to improve the parks, is the parks where the local residents are very active and take care of their parks. So I thought we have to get this Waring playground renovation off the ground, and why don't we volunteer for a cleanup project? So I went over to the basketball court. There's lots of leaves and twigs and branches on the court and all around the court, mounds and mounds of leaves. And I talked to the players there and made sure that they would participate, and they said, definitely, yes, we really wanted to get this cleaned up, we really want to do this. So then, two guys, one of them was here, Ismail, came out with me to do a site visit, and it happened to be right after the snowstorm, and the entire park and basketball court was iced over. It was so, the crust was so thick we could stand on it. So they said, yes, let's do it. It's a great project. We'll also give you equipment to